ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। नमः विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्यनामिने गौरतुसे नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So we welcome everyone for today's discussion on Srimad Bhagavad Gita, the manual of life. So yesterday we discussed second verse of first chapter spoken by Sanjay. Sanjay says, Drishtva tu Pandavanekam Yodham Duryodhanastada Acharyam Upasangamya Raja Vachanam Abravit. So in the first verse, Dhritarashtra asked the question that my sons and sons of Pandu, they have assembled in the battlefield of Kurukshetra with a desire to fight. So what are they doing? That was his question. So understanding the mentality and understanding the intention or the fear which Dhritarashtra is having within his mind, Sanjay could understand this. So, in the second verse, which we discussed yesterday, Sanjay says that, my dear sir, your sons, headed by Duryodhana, are not planning to compromise with this war. They are surely going to fight this battlefield, but uh, because Dhritarashtra was anxious, he was anxious that the this battlefield which is going to happen in the Kurukshetra. She was anxious that Kurukshetra being the place of pilgrimage, it might affect the consciousness of Duryodhana positively, and he may decline to fight, and he may compromise. He may choose that okay, we should we should divide the kingdom amongst Pandavas and Kauravas. So that will be a great loss, because Dhritarashtra means he's so much attached to the kingdom. So that's why Sanjay said, no, no, they are not going to compromise. But still, you need not to become happy after knowing this. And for this reason, Sanjay said that Duryodhana is also feeling some kind of fear within his heart. That's why, although his mentality is that he is king, he thinks that he is king, Raja, but still he has to approach Acharya, Dronacharya, and he is going to Dronacharya specifically, and he is going to analyze the situation so that he can properly make the strategy how to uh, kill or how to defeat Pandavas. So in this way, in second verse, Sanjay said like this. So now from the today's third, we are going to discuss third verse. So in this verse, Pashyatam Panduputranam Acharya Mahatim Chamum Vyudham Drupada Tava Shishyena Dhimata. So, okay, before I go ahead, I want to ask, can any one of you tell who is saying this sloka? To whom? Yes, yes, who can tell this sloka, this verse number third? Jay is repeating this verse. This verse is spoken by our dear Mr. Duryodhana. Huh. And he is speaking to Dronacharya. So from verse number 3 till around verse number 14 or 15, 14, 15, 14, Tasya Sanjan, 11, verse number 11, till verse number 11, Duryodhana is going to analyze the military force of Pandavas as well as his own military force. So first, he will analyze the military force, military arrangement of Pandavas, just to make awareness about the military strength of Pandavas, so that all the army officers headed by Bhishma and Dronacharya, they become very careful. They should not uh, become lazy or careless, thinking that we are more powerful than Pandavas, we will win the battle. Uh, or there is some another kind of reason also. Dronacharya and Bhishma, they were very much affectionate towards Pandavas. So that affection may not become the cause of Duryodhana's defeat. That is why Duryodhana is going to Acharya and pointing out to him is one of his mistake which he did. Actually, that was not the mistake, but Duryodhana thinks like that Acharya has already done a mistake because of his compassionate or because of his affectionate nature. He has already done a mistake because of which he is destined to die. But now they should become careful. Now, again, they should not commit this mistake. They should not become lenient in fighting, thinking that these are our sons or these are our disciples because of affection for the Pandavas. So that is the motivation Duryodhana is having. So in this, with this motivation, Duryodhana is speaking this verse. Pashyatam Panduputranam Acharya, oh Acharya, oh my teacher, Acharya, Dronacharya. Pashyatam, Pashya means behold. Behold means just see, or just more than just see. Pashya means behold means observe. Please observe, not just see, but please consider. After seeing, you have to contemplate or think or consider the situation. So behold, etam means this entire, pointing out towards the military force of Pandavas. Duryodhana is telling, Pashyetam, Pashyetam, Panduputranam. Panduputranam means Pandavas, the sons of Pandu. Uh, O Acharya, please behold or observe. Mahatim Chamum. Mahatim means great. In Marathi also, I think this word is used, na? Mahatim. Mahati for greatness. Yeah. So Mahatim. Mahatim means the great. Amum, Chamum. Uh, this is military force. Chamum means military force. So Duryodhana is telling that just behold the great military force of Pandu Putranam. The sons of Pandu means Pandavas, uh, which is so nicely arranged. Vyudham Drupad Putrena. Vyudham means nicely arranged. Arranged. It is a military phalanx. Just like nowadays also they make some this battalion military phalanx. It is known as battalion or military phalanx. But nowadays just they don't have, they do have some kind of their strategy is there. They select a number of soldiers and officers. They do have this thing, but not as scientific or as reasonable or logical or as appropriate and perfect as it was there in the Vedic time. That is why it is known as Vyudham. I think you might have heard about Chakravyu when this 16-year-old boy, what was his name? Abhimanyu. So when Abhimanyu went to break the Chakravyu. So Chakravyu means that is also view, Vyudham. Means Chakra, arrangement of military force in Chakra shape. There in Vedic time, they used to have battle like this. There used to be Chakravyu, Varun view, Sarpa view, and so many different arrangements. And they used to follow certain laws. It's not that you can just enter into the view and you can kill independently. No, you have to follow certain rules and regulations. So that was perfect arrangement of fighting, and that is why this Vedic fighting was not like fighting of cats and dogs. Cats and dog fighting means the cats and dogs, when they fight, they don't care for anything. They just go and just attack. So nowadays, most of the time when we hear about wars, so they fight like cats and dogs, and that's why Prabhupada says This Mahabharata was also a fight, but is also a war, but it's not a war like cats and dogs war, where innocent people are killed, where they don't follow any principles of dharma. They just attack even on the soldiers who is not conscious about fighting. So they just attack. They throw the bomb. So this is all adharmic yuddha, irreligious fighting, irreligious war, and because this fighting gives a lot of sinful activity. But earlier there used to have vyudham, proper arrangement was there. Vyudham, this vyudham is this arrangement, particular arrangement has been made by Drupad Putrena Tavishishrena Dhimaha. So expertly arranged by your intelligent disciple, the son of Drupada. So here Duryodhana is telling Dronacharya that just see the great military force which is so nicely arranged by the son of Drupada, Drupad Putrena, who is your Shishrena, who is your disciple, favorite disciple. And Dhimata, intelligent disciple, who is your intelligent disciple. So each and every word has got a specific meaning, and the intention is revealed. Why Duryodhana is telling Drupad Putrena? This is also significant. Drupad Putrena. He's not telling the Drishtadyumnena. He could have told Drishtadyumnena, but why he's telling Drupad Putrena? And why he's telling Tavashishyena? He's pointing out. So these two words, Drupad Putrena and Tavashishyena, that reveals that Duryodhana is pointing out the mistake of Dronacharya which he committed, which he did, which he has already done. Because of which his life is in the danger. But now, by pointing out this mistake, Duryodhana wants to make him careful that now you don't commit such kind of mistake. Now you become serious. This is war. War means war. Here, nobody is your disciple. Nobody is your nothing's dharma. All dharma, all your Brahmanical dharma, you just give up. Because Dronacharya was a Brahman. So that's why he gave the training to Drupad Putrena and Drishtadyumna. So Duryodhana is telling, now you are not a Brahmana, you are Kshatriya, you have come to fight. So doesn't matter whatever whoever is there standing in front of you, just fight and kill him. So that is the motivation Duryodhana is telling. We'll discuss more about it. So some of you can read the purport, then we'll discuss. Yes, who can read? Please read. Yes, Shyama Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Duryodhana, a great diplomat, wanted to point out the defects of Dronacharya, the great Brahmana, commander in chief. Dronacharya had some political quarrel with King Drupad, the father of Draupadi, who was Arjuna's wife. As a result of this quarrel, Drupada performed a great sacrifice by which he received the benediction of having a son who would be able to kill Dronacharya. Dronacharya knew this perfectly well, and yet, as a liberal Brahmin, he did not hesitate to impart all his military secrets when the son of Drupad, Dhritarashtradyumna, was entrusted to him for the military education. Now, on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, Dhritarashtradyumna took the side of Pandavas, and it was he who arranged for their military phalanx after having learned the art from Dronacharya. Duryodhana pointed out this mistake of Dronacharya's so that he might be alert and uncompromising in the fighting. By this, he wanted to point out also that he should not be similarly lenient in battle against the Pandavas, who were also Dronacharya's affectionate students. Arjuna, especially, was his most affectionate and brilliant student. Duryodhana also warned that such leniency in the fight would lead to defeat.
Repeat. Yes. Okay. So this history is being narrated here about Drupad Putrena and Dronacharya's. Shishya, Drishtadyumna. Drupad Putrena, who is Drupad Putrena? Drishtadyumna. So there was some kind of quarrel between Drupad Maharaj and Dronacharya. Both of them, they were actually very close friend earlier when they were in the school days, Gurukul. So this Drupad was the son of king and Dronacharya was the son of Brahman. So they became good friends in their school days. And in friendship only, this Drupada, he told Dronacharya that when I become king, I will give half of my kingdom to you. You are my best friend. So Dronacharya said, no, no, I don't require. But Drupada, he said, no, no, I promise, I will give you. So later on, when they passed, they passed out from school. So both of them, they went to their home. So Drupad, over the period of time, he becomes a king. And Dronachar, he was naturally he was a Brahmin, so he was leading his life like a Brahmin. Uh, and Brahmins usually they used to lead life in a poor manner. They did not have so much about opulence, money. They used to live in poverty, voluntarily poverty. Voluntarily, they used to remain poor so that they may not get afflicted with excessive attachment for material things. So that was the reason. So Dronacharya, he never went to Drupad for asking anything. But at one point of time when there was great need for resources, material resources, so his wife told him that you go, your friend is Drupad, the king, he has become king, and he promised you that he will give half of kingdom. So you go and ask him at least some help. So Dronacharya, being inspired by his wife, he went and when he approached Drupad Maharaj, so Drupad, seeing a poor Brahmin, he flatly refused that I don't know this Brahmin. Okay, we were in school days. So in school days, we were small kids. So we made friendship and we gave some promise. But this is not applicable now. So in this way, he disrespected Dronacharya. Dronacharya did not want to get 50% of the kingdom, but he just wanted something. But Drupad, he did not give. So the Dronacharya became angry and she came back and he trained Pandavas, specifically Arjuna. And when Arjuna asked for Guru Dakshina, then Dronacharya told that you go and defeat Drupad Maharaj. So he went and he defeated Drupad, and in this way, the entire kingdom again came to Dronacharya. But for this reason, Drupad Maharaj, he became very angry. That in order to defeat me, Dronacharya has taken help of his disciple Arjuna. That is not good. We had personal quarrel. Why should he induce his disciple, who is the great archer, to fight with me? That is not good. So Drupad Maharaj also became very angry. So he performed a great yajna in order to get a son who would be able to kill Dronacharya, because Drupad had no such power that he could kill Dronacharya personally, because Dronacharya was a great Brahmin. It was not possible for a Kshatriya to kill Brahmin, and that will also lead a sin to him. So he performed this yajna. So at the end of this yajna, yeah, he performed to get one son, but actually he got one son and one daughter. The name of the son was Drishtadyumna, who was supposed to kill Dronacharya, and the name of daughter was Draupadi, who was supposed to get married to Arjuna. So Draupadi was directly as good as goddess of fortune. She was so beautiful and so opulent. So it was already destined that she will get married to Arjuna. So this when the son grew up, so this Drupad Maharaj, he wanted for his son to have a good teacher, good military expert teacher. And there was nobody more qualified or expert than Dronacharya. So Drupad Maharaj personally sent his son that you go and take training from Dronacharya. Just imagine. She, he got this son for the purpose of killing Dronacharya. And in order to kill Dronacharya, in order to acquire the skills of military, military art. So he sends his son to the same person, Dronacharya. And Dronacharya also knew, he also knew very well that Drupad Maharaj has performed this yagya and he has got this son, Drishtadyumna, who is going to kill me. So even after knowing this, when Drishtadyumna approached him, he accepted him as his disciple and revealed all the skills, all the military teachings he provided him. Without that is actually liberal mentality of a Brahmana. Brahmana should be like this. It's not that why should I give him military lessons? I will not accept him as my disciple because if I teach him, he will kill me with my own teachings. But still, as a matter of duty, he gave all the military secrets. He revealed all the military secrets. In this way, that's why dhimata word is being used here. Tava shishyena dhimata. Your intelligent disciple. So Duryodhana, he is pointing out this mistake. Although this is not a mistake, this is a great means mentality, good mentality, liberal mentality of Dronacharya. That although he knew that this son of Drupad Maharaj will kill me, but still he has approached me for training, so I must give him the training. I cannot reject him. So this is the great quality, good quality. But a person like Duryodhana, he is thinking that this is bad quality. This is a mistake. So similarly, this happens in the material world. Huh? So devotees are the best human beings. They are the only person who are doing their duties in a best possible manner. And rest everyone else is running away from the duties. Uh, Apart from devotees, everyone else is escapist. But those who are escapist, they think that devotees are escapist. So this is the mentality of Duryodhana. Only a person who is having the mentality of Duryodhana, only that kind of person thinks Dronacharya that he committed a mistake, he has a bad quality. But those who have good heart, those who know the moral values, moral principles, they accept that this was a great heart, great quality of Dronacharya. That even after knowing that this person, this son, this disciple will kill me, he is destined to kill me, and that is going to happen in the future. But still, he did not hesitate to fulfill his duty to train him. That is a great mentality. Similarly, devotees, for the purpose of serving Krishna, they are ready to sacrifice everything. Devotees know that so many people will criticize us, so many things will happen. We have so many duties to perform, specifically as far as brahmacharis and sannyasis, brahmacharis are concerned. So it's not that they have no emotions. They are filled with emotions. They have a lot of emotions for their parents, for their relatives, the brothers, sisters. They have the emotions, but still they take the courage that we want to serve Krishna. We want to work for the welfare of entire humanity. Why should we just waste our life or not just, why should we just use our life for the purpose of maintaining three, four people? Let me sacrifice this. This is my personal sacrifice for the purpose of spreading Krishna consciousness all over the world. But those who are like having the mentality like Duryodhana, they think just see these devotees, they are escapists. They leave everything, they are lazy, and they leave everything. They just sit in the temple and eat and sleep. That's all. So many people think like this. That brahmachari ban gaya means they just go in the temple, ring ring the bell, and take some food, eat, and sleep whole day. No, you can come to ISKCON temple and just live one day in the Brahmachari ashram. You will understand. There are devotees who work for 15 hours, 16 hours, 18 hours, 20 hours. Brahmacharis who work like this. Is there any person in in this material world who works for 15 hours, 20 hours? Yes, 24 hours. Very few. Yes, there may be few people like businessmen are there, but they work for their sense gratification, for their own sense gratification. They work for, not for others. But devotees are constantly engaged for the welfare of each and every living entity. They don't want anything for themselves. For themselves, they are simply satisfied sitting in the temple very nicely, They get up early in the morning, 4 o'clock. Nicely, they attend Mangala Aarti, chant, dance, and chant and read, hear. So blissful life. And actually, there are few devotees who, because of some reason, because they don't go out for preaching, they live in the temple. They have very nice life, and that is also a million times better than becoming a karmi. Any devotee, any brahmachari, or any devotee, not just brahmachari, any devotee who doesn't do anything, if he simply gets up early in the morning, chants his Hare Krishna Mahamantra, reads and hears, that's all. If he does entire day that all these activities, he is far more better than the president of America. I am not saying this. Srila Bhaktivedanta Suti Thakur used to say this. Srila Bhaktivedanta Suti Thakur, he was so inspired to preach 24 hours. He used to work 24 hours for the welfare of each and every living entity. And he used to engage each and every one of his disciples like anything in the service of Supreme Lord, in the preaching services. He used to send everyone out, go out and meet people and means organize programs, construct temples, manage festivals. He used to do festivals like this. So such a great hearted, so divine soul personality, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He used to say, even if there is some devotee, some brahmachari, who doesn't do anything, if he simply lives in the temple, we'll provide him food, we'll provide him shelter, clothes, clothes. If he just simply sit down and if he whole day if he chants and he reads Bhagavatam, that's all. He is far better than the President of America. That was his conviction. But still, we have so many devotees. They work very hard. They go out. It's not easy thing because in this age of Kali Yuga, people are not so anxious to receive the message of Krishna consciousness. And devotees have to sometimes they have to take risk. Great risk is there. So many devotees, they go out for book distribution. In Sankirtan bus, they go out for book distribution. Many kinds, many different mentalities of people, they come and meet. They sometimes they criticize devotees. Even sometimes there are cases they try to beat the devotees. I also have one experience, such experience. That was a wonderful experience. But I did not get hurt. I became very blissful. One policeman he came and he gave me a slab. I was doing book distribution, so I entered somewhere. Some government place was there. So I asked I took the permission from another policeman. So he told okay, you don't go inside the building, but outside the gate you can stand and you can meet the people. So I was just doing that, and many people they took Bhagavad Gita. On that day, within 2 hours, I could sell around 20-25 Bhagavad Gitas. That was so effective place because many that was a office, big office of many government officers. So they were coming and going, so they took so much interest in taking. But another policeman, I think he was a Muslim guy, so he caught me, and first he told me, "You just get out, get lost from here." I said, I'm not doing anything wrong. Why should I go out? I have taken permission. So I'm not going to go anywhere. And now I'm not going to enter inside also. I'm just standing here. Whoever is coming, I'm just showing Bhagavad Gita. So he became angry and he gave a slap. So then I moved out of the gate. But I did not feel hurt. I'm personally saying this because if you just imagine, if you go out for some other cause, some material cause, if you get this kind of beating or slap, you'll become so demoralized. You will start crying also. You will become demoralized. But at that particular point of time, I immediately remember that I got the slap for the sake of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. uh, for Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I got the slap. So that was a blissful point of my life. And I desired, let me get this kind of slap always. That was so wonderful. So instead of, I did not stop doing the book distribution. I just came out of that building and I was doing book distribution outside in the road. So that was a great blissful experience. So for a devotee, even in the circumstances where when a non-devotee comes across such kinds of circumstances, when somebody criticizes, somebody insults, somebody sometimes beats, then non-devotees, those who are not devotees, they become very depressed. They come in anxiety. And sometimes so much depressed that they commit suicide also. But for a devotee, because he has dedicated his consciousness for the service of the Supreme Lord, instead of becoming discouraged, each and every miserable situation of his life gives the impetus to serve the Lord more and more. That is the beauty of Krishna consciousness, which no non-devotee can understand, no karmi can understand this because that is why Kunti Maharani always prays, let there be miseries. Because actually these are not miseries. These miseries or difficulties or discouragement or insults or criticism actually inspires a devotee to serve more and more to the Supreme Lord. So these are not actually miseries. They are the stepping steps toward the lotus feet of Krishna. So devotees welcome this. Srila Prabhupada went to America. He got so many challenges. One drunkard American young boy named David, he showed some interest in Krishna consciousness in the beginning. And on the request of Srila Prabhupada, he stopped taking marijuana, LSD, all kinds of nonsense intoxicants, but only for few days. He was so habituated of taking it. So one day at the dead of midnight, one day in the midnight, he just went away and he took lot of intoxication. And as soon as he came inside, Prabhupada was sitting alone, he was translating, and he became so mad. He started shouting at Prabhupada and he started throwing all the things and he became so furious and he ran towards Prabhupada to attack on him. Somehow or other, Prabhupada left everything. He just ran out of the room and he was in the middle of the street uh, in the midnight. Nobody, no shelter, nothing. He was just there whole night. He was just running here and there on the street. Then early in the morning, he contacted some of the well-wisher and they arranged another apartment for another room for Prabhupada, that also in rent. So in this way, that was a great struggle. Prabhupada was 70 years old and that young David, American boy, 25 years old, he attacked on Prabhupada, but Prabhupada did not become discouraged. He did not decide that, okay, what is the use? I'm risking my life. Later, it's better I should go back to Vrindavan. No. When in 1967, this is after establishing ISKCON society in 1966, 1967, Prabhupada got third heart attack. Two heart attack he got on the ship. He survived. After 2 years, again he got one more heart attack. So doctor advised him that you go back to India because this environment is not suitable for you. So if you live here, you may die also at any time. So Prabhupada, so during those days, his visa also got expired from America. So Prabhupada, he was not concerned that I must go back to India. He was still trying his hard. All he was trying to get the visa back and he wrote one letter is there. He wrote to one person that if I get the visa back, my visa gets renewed, then I will cancel my plan to go back to India. I'm ready to be here in America and preach. I've established the society and I have few young girls and boys as disciples. I want to train them so that they can manage the society. And even if I die in America while preaching, I don't mind. I don't think that I should go back to India and Vrindavan and leave my body there peacefully. No, no. I want to remain. So that is the attitude of a devotee. He is ready to sacrifice. And that gives him intense pleasure, bliss. The comparison is given. I'll share the comparison, but please but don't mind. Because this is the way how we can understand. Because pure devotee, a devotee, when he serves Krishna, what kind of bliss he is experiencing that in spite of all challenges and all discomforts, he is ready to go on with the service of Krishna. This is very difficult to understand for a person like me who is not so much devoted to Krishna. That's why in Bhagavatam, in scriptures, this kind of example has been given. But you should not mind, just for understanding this example we are giving to you. Huh? So, a woman, when she becomes pregnant, so when she gives birth to a child, so that is a very painful situation. And at the time of delivery, she experiences so much pain that she decides, I will not have baby again. She decides like this. But again, when she comes in contact with the person, so because of sexual urge, because of the intense happiness which is experienced in intercourse, so she again forgets everything. She is ready to bear the child again and give birth to the child again. So similarly, a devotee, although experiencing all kind of pain, is not willing to give up the service of the Lord, because while serving the Lord, he experiences such a great, intense, blissful experience because of his connection with the Supreme Lord, that he is ready to take the suffering and painful situation of serving Krishna throughout his life. That's why when Prabhupada was very sick, so he was advised by some of his disciples that now you don't travel, you just remain in Vrindavan and you guide us. We'll go out and we'll do everything. You just remain here. Prabhupada said, don't try to stop me. Don't take away my privilege to struggle for Krishna. He said, Prabhupada said this. So that's why we find so many wonderful devotees. They never get retired from active preaching life. They don't get retired. Rather, as their age increases, their enthusiasm for serving Krishna increases more and more. Uh, the time which they give for serving Krishna, that increases more and more. So that is the beauty of service to Krishna. Anyway, I think we got little bit deviated from the verse, but it is very much connected also. So the main point is Dhimata. Okay. So we were actually discussing that Duryodhana, although he is pointing out that this is the mistake of Dronacharya, but anybody who is having a pure heart, he can very nicely understand. But this is not the mistake. This is the great quality of Dronacharya. Similarly, in considering this point I was discussing. The devotees, they dedicate, they sacrifice everything for the service of Krishna, but those who are non-devotees, they cannot understand and they blame devotees as escapist. But who is escapist? Non-devotees are escapist. They are escaping service to Krishna. They are escaping the real dharma of serving Krishna. They are escapist. And devotees are also escapists. They are escaping Maya. Devotees also escape something. They escape Maya. They fear Maya. Prabhupada said, I have only one complaint with my disciples. They all are very dedicated. They serve very nicely, very enthusiastic. They accepted Krishna. But the only problem with them is that they don't have fear with Maya. They don't fear Maya. And they go anywhere and everywhere. Once, some of the early days, some of the disciples, they took Prabhupada in a night bar, night club. Party was going on, and they had invited Swamiji for doing kirtan. Prabhupada did not have experience that what kind of. He only thought, okay, there may be boys and young boys and girls. They must be dancing, and where they there will go and we do some kirtan and we'll come back. But when he entered, he saw so many in America. In India also, if you go in night bar and club, you would find. But in America, so many young girls and boys, some of them did not have any cloth also. So Prabhupada, but because he accepted the proposal, Prabhupada did the kirtan and he came back. And then when he was coming back from there, he told his disciple, don't organize such kind of program in the future. It is very risky for you devotees, young devotees. So anyway, but devotees generally, yes, devotees escape, but they escape from Maya. They escape from miseries of this material world and they enter into the blissful life of Krishna consciousness. Okay, so thank you very much. We'll stop here. Oh, टाइम का पता ही नहीं चला 8 सवा 8 हो गए so we'll not take the questions. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.